Shalom from the wilderness, brothers and sisters. This is Heman from Camp 77 in Southeast Missouri. And this message is to the 144 and to the multitude from all nations, all who are Yah's children and all who will be called out and who are being called out right now. It's a continuation of the same message and lesson, which is the number one duty of the church. And I'm going to pick up where I left off. Let me take you to John chapter 15. John chapter 15, and that's verse 12. All right, so in 12, we're understanding from Yahushua what his commandment is. All right, he is saying, "This is my commandment, that you love each other like I have loved you. No man has greater love than this, that a man lay his life down for his friends." Okay, so now Yahushua is speaking about, this is not to everybody. This is specifically to the church. So Yahushua is saying that we already been told that we're to love our enemies by not doing anything wrong to them. But Yahushua is saying that we are to have agape love, which is this is the highest form of love. This is that love that will give its life and sacrifice for it's beyond human love. And we are to have this toward each other, being members of Christ's body, that we are to love each other just like he loved us. And we did see how much he loved us by how he died on the cross. So this is true love, and this is what we would all consider unconditional love. And really the other type of love is just kind of people just doing things for each other because they get something back. All right, but Yahushua commanded, it's important to remember that he commanded that we love each other. So for a believer to not love another believer, or to not show unconditional love for another believer, to not take care of another believer, that is, they are not doing, there could be no life of Christ in them, okay? This is his commandment, and again, whoever is of him, they will obey him, and whoever doesn't obey him, he said they do not love him, and that person is a liar, and the spirit is not in them. And all right, but continuing in verse 13, greater love has no man than this, that they lay down their life for their friends. Verse 14, you are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. Okay, so flat out plain, Christ makes us to understand that the purpose of the church is to be loving and taking care of each other. Okay, so we're supposed to be taking care of each other, helping each other, loving each other, making sacrifices for each other, sharing with each other. We're supposed, and we have to, somewhat be, you have to be in we got to network or hook up somehow in order to do that. Okay, so this is what is the main thing we're to do, though, is to love each other. This is the command Christ gave, and you can say he added it on to the 10 Commandments. Okay, so to love each other, those of us who are the church, that's Christ's command, and the only command that he gave. Now, if I go down in the same chapter to verse 17, Christ repeats it. He reiterates it, that it's so important. He says, these things I command you, that you love each other. All right. And for anybody who wants to look up this word, if anybody studies and uses, the Strong's Concordance, this is the Greek word agape, and it's comparable to the Hebrew word agab, and you can reference that in Strong's Concordance H5689. Okay. Moving on now to Mark. Again, this is about what's the number one duty of the church. What's the duty of the church? What is the church to be doing? Is the point, because especially if we all think we're in a church, or if we all are in churches, and it comes down to what are we supposed to be doing here? All right. And Christ is going to tell us, in the scriptures is going to tell us, it's not me telling you, but it's the word itself. This is Mark chapter 12, verse 28 through 34. All right. One of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all? So he's asking, what's the most important commandment? What's more important than all the other commandments? Which one comes first? Yahushua answered him and said, first of all, the commandments is, hear, O Israel, Yahuwah, our Elohim, is one Yahuwah. And you will love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. So there's nothing more important than loving and taking care of Yah, and we do that by obeying him and doing what he wants us to do. So there's no way to love Yah or take care of him by disobeying him and hurting him. There's no way to love Yah or take care of him by rebelling against him or refusing to, refusing his ways, his customs. Okay, but this is you hear it in a red letter from Yahushua HaMashiach, from Christ, that this is the first commandment. Verse 31: the second is like it, namely is this, that you will love your neighbor like yourself, and there is no other commandment greater than these. So our neighbor are the people near us and around us. In other words, like, it's not really anywhere to go on a daily basis if we wanted to serve Yah. It's basically just about obeying Yah's commands on a daily basis, and then and that's how we love him. And when we keep Yah's commands, then we love our neighbors, and we're doing good to our neighbors. So there's no, you don't have to be involved in any kind of extracurricular activity aside from that. This is what Yah wants people to do. He wants you to love him and to express that love through obedience to his laws and his customs. And then he wants us to love each other, which are the people around us, and not really to go looking for people to love. Okay, we all have people right there who need us to love them. And most people would say, like, yeah, well, I already love the people around me. And Christ spoke about that too. He said that even outsiders and Gentiles do the same. They do things for people to do things for them. But we're talking about agape love. This is unconditional love, like you will sacrifice your life for somebody you love. And we were commanded to do this to the church, is what we need to remember. And it's the church who should be our neighbors. All right. So now, you heard